Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Mike Zimmer details plan to improve the performance of DT Mazy Smith. The Dallas Cowboys decided to bolster the interior of their defensive line in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft. They selected Mazy Smith out of Michigan, one of the top defensive tackles in the college ranks, and the hope was that he would be the force in the middle that the Cowboys needed, especially against the run where they have had issues for quite a while. Smith's rookie campaign didn't go as smoothly as planned. He appeared in all 17 games but logged just 3 starts and played only 304 snaps. Smith finished with a pedestrian 13 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. For whatever reason, whether it be a lack of coaching, a change in his weight role, or simply not adjusting to the NFL game quick enough, Smith's effectiveness as a rookie was minimal at best, to the point that he was pretty much an afterthought. That simply can't happen with a draft pick that high, and something certainly needs to change going into his second year. But new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer laid out a plan to get Smith back to the level that made him a dominant force with the Wolverines. Obviously, he was a high draft pick, said Zimmer. I heard that he kinda struggled last year, so we're gonna start with the basics. Get him in a good stance, get him using his hands the right way, getting his footwork the right way, and then go from there. I talked to him yesterday and asked him what weight he felt comfortable at, so we've got to get him to that point first, and then get his strength back, and then we'll let him go out here on the field. We anticipate he's gonna be a good player like he was in college, and that's how we have to go. Smith entered the league at around 330 pounds. At Michigan, he was a run-stuffing nose tackle that ate up double teams like a Thanksgiving turkey. However, his weight went under 300 pounds last season, and he resembled more of a 3-tech attacking upfield. That's where the biggest mismanagement came with Smith. He wasn't asked to be what got him to the level. Zimmer plans on getting him back to the disruptive force he was instantly expected to be in Dallas. We're going to probably play blocks a little bit more, and try not to get reached so linebackers know where they're supposed to fit, so forth and so on, he said of Smith. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, it's what he did in college. Zimmer also plans to make a change to the coaching structure on game day, as he will be on the sideline ready to help Smith, or any other player, who needs quick on-the-field adjustments. Proposed trade sees Cowboys land $81 million receiver. The Dallas Cowboys would be an ideal landing spot for this veteran receiver. In a trade scenario proposed by Inside the Stars Mario Herrera Jr., the Cowboys would acquire 5-time Pro Bowl wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a 5th-round pick. Herrera argues that although Hopkins is coming off a rebound season, he posted 75 catches for 1,057 yards and 7 touchdowns with lackluster quarterback play. The Titans could look to get younger and stockpile draft capital. Tennessee looks to get younger at the position to grow with second-year QB Will Levis, and a 32-year-old Hopkins could be expendable, writes Herrera Jr. The Titans have just 4 total 2025 draft picks and only 1 in the top 3 rounds. Dallas should offer a 5th-round pick in exchange for Nook, why the Cowboys would acquire DeAndre Hopkins. While the Cowboys would certainly welcome the addition of a 3rd established receiver following the release of Michael Gallup Jr. this offseason, Herrera makes sure to stress that the Titans would have to take on some of his 2024 salary due to the Cowboys' recent cap-restrained approach. Execution of this trade would require the Titans to take on some of his 2024 salary, writes Herrera. Stephen Jones will scoff at his current cap hit of $18 million. Hopkins, who previously signed an $81 million contract extension in 2017 with the Houston Texans, is on the verge of entering the final year of a 2-year, $26 million deal he signed with the Titans in 2023. The idea of the Cowboys adding a 3rd veteran receiver is a realistic idea. Dallas will likely enter training camp with CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks as the top 2 receivers, with young and unproven receivers such as Jalen Tolbert, Kayvonte Turpin, and rookie Ryan Flournoy competing for the slot position. Tolbert has just 29 catches for 268 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns through the first 2 seasons of his career, while Turpin has largely served as a return specialist, notching just 13 catches for 136 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns during his career. Why the Titans likely won't trade DeAndre Hopkins. While the Titans likely won't be contending for a Super Bowl this season with second-year quarterback Will Levis entering training camp as the unquestioned starter, it's hard to envision Tennessee trading his best and most dependable receiving weapon before his first full season as starter. Despite being 32 years of age, Hopkins is still the Titans' go-to receiver, with former first-round pick Treylon Burks proving to be a bust so far in his career after posting just 49 catches for 665 receiving yards and 1 touchdown during the first 2 seasons of his career. In fact, Hopkins garners such a large share of the receptions and targets among the wide receivers that the Titans' second-best receiver was Nick Westbrook-Ikhine with 28 catches for 370 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. His number of catches and receiving yards ranked 5th among players on the team. The idea of the Cowboys acquiring Hopkins, who previously teased the idea of playing for the Cowboys during the 2023 offseason, is obviously a move Dallas would welcome. However, the idea of the Titans parting ways with Hopkins as their young quarterback, Levis, enters a pivotal year in his development just isn't a very realistic scenario, especially if the Cowboys are just parting ways with a 5th-round draft pick in exchange for an established star receiver like Hopkins. Cowboys star Trevon Diggs trolls Giants in new post. This time of the NFL league year is always quiet, but Dallas Cowboys corner Trevon Diggs is spicing things up with a new post. The New York Giants are unveiling a new uniform set comprised of older jerseys, pants, and helmets, and Diggs is apparently not a fan. On May 17th, Diggs responded to a post from Pro Football Focus asking social media if they liked the Giants' new look. The Cowboys corner didn't need many words to express his feelings. Diggs posted on X, New York's new throwback set is certainly adventurous, as it combines the Giants' longtime red and blue with a set of beige pants. The helmets feature an old-school wing design that looks great on a college team like Michigan, but it is extremely rare to see at the NFL level. Either way, Diggs isn't afraid to make his thoughts known. That should come as no surprise, considering Diggs publicly recruited his brother Stephon to the Cowboys, although that didn't end up working out. Diggs attempting to recover after ACL injury. Back in September of 2023, the Cowboys suffered a major setback as Diggs tore his ACL in practice. Diggs was coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl campaigns and had already nabbed an interception and swatted 2 passes in 2 games. But injuries can strike at any point, and the Cowboys lost Diggs early. In some ways, it set up the rise of fellow corner Darren Bland, who was a first-team All-Pro in 2023. Of course, it would have been preferable to see both of them excel simultaneously. The silver lining of the injury is that it happened fairly early in the season. Diggs has been recovering for 8 months since, and should be at 100% health by the time training camp rolls around. Meanwhile, Stephon Gilmore has yet to sign with Dallas or elsewhere in free agency. It's not clear why he's still a free agent, but the 33-year-old and the Cowboys may be monitoring the finish to Diggs' recovery before making a move. Cowboys free agent speaks on availability. Coming into May, it was a bit surprising that Gilmore still didn't have a team. He's a 2-time All-Pro and 4-time Pro Bowler, who also is coming off a season with Dallas with 2 interceptions and 13 passes defended. But according to Gilmore, the issue is age. In an interview with CBS Sports' Jacina Anderson, Gilmore explains that he is more particular and teams are more wary about his age. I'm still focused on playing, but it has to be the right opportunity. I feel like it's the age thing with some of these teams. If I was 28, I would already have been signed by now. At the same time, I know the value I still bring, Gilmore said. Gilmore backing himself makes sense, especially after another solid campaign in 2023. He may be reaching the tail end of his career, but he is still playing at a high level. Spotrac estimates that he is worth a 1-year, $9 million contract. He's running out of time to maximize his income, so it wouldn't be surprising to see him wait as long as possible to try and capitalize on a team's injury or performance issues.